Welcome to our video on JavaScript event loops. If you've ever struggled to understand how the event loop works in JavaScript, you're not alone. Many programmers find this aspect of the language confusing and hard to grasp. But fear not, because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of the event loop and how it works. So, let's dive in and unlock the magic of JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language that brings dynamic and interactive features to websites. It allows us to create animations, handle user input, and make real-time updates to web pages. However, one aspect of JavaScript that many programmers find challenging to understand is the event loop. The event loop is a vital part of JavaScript that handles all the events in a web page. Events can include things like user input or loading a new page. The event loop processes these events and manages the JavaScript execution stack. Understanding the event loop is key to writing efficient and performant JavaScript code. Without a clear understanding of how it works, your code could get bogged down in a perpetual loop or face other performance problems. Fortunately, the event loop is not as complicated as it might seem at first glance. At its core, the event loop is just a loop that continually checks for new events to handle. In essence, it's a simple but powerful system. Real-world examples. To help demystify the event loop, let's look at a few real-world examples. Imagine you click a button on a web page, which triggers a JavaScript function. The function could then make an AJAX request, which asynchronously loads data from a server. The response data is then handed off to another function for processing. Behind the scenes, the event loop is keeping track of all of these processes and managing the JavaScript execution stack. If a response from the server takes longer than expected, the event loop can continue to handle other events and keep the page responsive. Another example is a game that uses real-time updates to keep players engaged. In this scenario, the event loop can handle user input and update the game state every frame. The loop ensures that the game remains responsive and can handle multiple inputs at once. Outro. So there you have it. By now, you should have a good understanding of the event loop and how it works in JavaScript. We've covered the basics and given you real-world examples to help you visualize how the event loop functions. With this knowledge, you'll be able to write more efficient and performant code that takes advantage of the magic of JavaScript. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!